From cannibalism to cat boiling, 2020 was a crazy year. We are going to discuss our New Year's resolutions, glory holes, our favorite gifts, and so much more. Oh, and sorry, I kind of screwed up the audio on this one.
Hi, we're back.
Oh my god!
And two of us are black. Welcome back to Queer. We're so happy to be back. It is January and so much shit has fucking happened since the last time we were in this little room around this table together.
2021, y'all.
Yeah, and remember when we thought, like, oh, you know, when that ball hits the bottom of the whatever building in New York, everything was going to be normal again, and it's still not.
Not even close.
It's still pretty sad. We're still pretty much stuck in this.
I don't think we're anywhere near getting out of this shit.
I think we're going to be in a hole. Did you know, I was reading this article that said that only 50% of people in Canada want to get the COVID vaccine?
So, well, bitch, did you see about all those people that were getting the vaccine just immediately just got sick?
Yeah,
some
but
of them
that's
died?
No, but that's because they all had fucking plastic surgery and they didn't get sick. They had like
No,
they got
there's
Bell's palsy in
more.
2 seconds.
There's more, even as of today.
Are you fucking serious? If you're saying that you're not getting the vaccine, I'm leaving right now.
I'm not getting the vaccine.
Wow.
I'm not. I'm really not.
Okay, can somebody give me all the vaccines?
Yeah.
I'm tired of this.
So wait,
okay,
I'm not okay. So I'm not a scientist today,
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, if it's anything like the flu shot, right?
Right.
You have to insert the flu into your body so your body becomes immune.
Jamal, how many things have you inserted in your body?
Plenty doesn't mean they're meant to be there, and I probably got sick off those things too.
Okay, this is the thing. I was thinking about this. I have done drugs off of a bathroom toilet seat when I was like 19. I think I'm okay with putting the COVID vaccine in my body.
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
turned out fine.
I one time went to a bar and didn't have any money for drinks, so I just started taking drinks off the table,
Oh my god, and that's how COVID started.
and that's why I'm okay with getting the COVID vaccine.
Oh, gee.
I have done so many stupid. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to lick every door handle before I went into a building because I liked the way the metal tasted.
Dude, there was this guy on my Facebook who he got the vaccine about 3 days ago, and every day he's just posting a video. He's hooked up to a ventilator, all that shit, because now he's severely sick. So I'm like, if it's anything like the flu shot, then they're inserting the COVID vaccine into your body,
It
right?
sounds like conspiracy.
I don't know,
I
but
think a little bit, because yeah, with any vaccine, they have to insert a little bit of the virus inside of you, and obviously that's how the vaccine works in order for your body to create antibodies so that
Right.
they can fight it off. But I think that maybe right now, because the vaccine is still relatively new,
Yeah.
we don't know too much about it. I think a lot of people like to exaggerate. So
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I'm like, insert that into me as far as you go. Go all the way up to the elbow. That's how far I want you to insert that vaccine inside.
Jay, are you getting it?
Yeah.
Wow, no. I'm gonna wait a few years. I'm gonna see how many people die off.
Wait. But let me challenge you on that. What if for your job, because I know
Yeah,
for your
so
job,
we were
that-
talking about that at work. Yeah.
So, for example, teachers, they probably have to get it
Right.
Mhm.
because without it, they obviously are not going to teach. Or healthcare workers. So, if your job makes you get it, would you get
Of
it?
course, you're not gonna fuck up your money. So
Right. like if it's taking away from my paycheck, absolutely.
absolutely.
I will
If not,
I'm going to conspiracize so that they know this won't work, but I'm making it as
And I'll be in line bitching the entire time.
Yeah, and you'll be super unhappy with it, but you'll do it for the paycheck.
100%.
I love it.
And then document the entire thing.
Well, also Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year because I haven't seen you humans since then. Did you guys do anything special for your COVID Christmas or COVID New Year's?
Mm-mm. I went to my sister's house for Christmas dinner,
Nice.
and that was about it.
Cute.
Yeah, it was fun.
What'd you do?
Stuff my face.
I did Christmas with my boyfriend.
Cutie.
And that's pretty much it. I did not do anything for New Year's. It was just so sad and it was so shitty. Honestly, I think if anything, this was the year that I wanted to do stuff.
Right.
Normally, I am the least
Are you
social
grinchy?
person.
Are you
No,
grinchy at Christmas?
Not grinchy. I
Okay.
just don't do it.
Right.
I get people that love it and whatever. They eat, breathe, shit Christmas. Our girl Mariah.
Yeah.
I love that about her.
Oh.
But for me, I'm down with Christmas for a couple hours,
Mhm.
but then after that, the magic kind of just wears off. And I'm
Right.
okay, I get it. Let's move on.
Take down the tree.
Yeah.
Vacuum up the thistles. Let's get it
Yeah.
out of here.
But no, like I really wanted to do like to be more involved, I guess. But like, you know, with COVID, it's a little hard. So
I know. I was lucky. I got to go to a cabin with my roommate, and
I did see pictures of that, you bitch.
I went with the Cameron Chase that was
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Wait, is it that or the?
I like the Cameron Chase. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and like
The-
and Kabir, who was also on the podcast, because they're all in my
Megan the
bubble.
Stallion.
Yeah. Megan the Stallion, Cameron the Cameron Chase. Yeah. Okay, I fucked it up. It could have been so good. I fucked it all up. I went to a really cute cabin, and that was really nice. And we did like a little gift exchange, and I cooked for everybody, and I fucking love cooking. So I just got to cook all the nice things. And
What
then,
did you get
what do you mean? What did I get?
for your gift exchange?
I got a fucking dick candle,
What's
and
it?
I got a
What does it smell like?
it smells just like
Like-
dick. Well, last night I accidentally broke it, not by inserting it inside me or anything. I just fell off my dresser, and then the balls snapped off, so now it doesn't really stand. And I haven't lit it, and I also feel like lighting a dick candle would be kind of weird, because then once you light it, then like it's at the head of the penis, and then then it's just like a weird. And it just seems weird that you cut off the top.
weird
of the penis.
shaft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with balls. So anyway, what else did I get? And I got sunglasses in the gift exchange. And my gift that I was giving to people was the best. It was who's that guy that's in Face Off? Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
It's a Nicolas Cage pillow that is like sequence. That if you go one way, it's red, and then if you go up the other way, it turns into Nicolas Cage.
Did you end up getting your friend Apple Watch?
Yeah, I did for his birthday. I did. Yeah, it was cute. He loved it. It was Kabir. Kabir was on our podcast.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So do you know what? And then I got fucked up with Kabir on New Year's, and was up until 10 p.m. the next day.
Bitch, you better enjoy those days because it's gonna end soon.
And do you know what I thought too? Is that I think this is the last year that I'm gonna get fucked up on a New Year's, because it sucks going into the new year the next day and being like, I have completely failed. On January 1st, I am like not even a person.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes,
because you're
no.
like feeling shitty, so like that's like not a good way to enter the year feeling gross.
Right. So I think maybe I'm just like, I'm gonna like have one glass of champagne next year and then go to bed.
That's
and then like
boring.
But then like have like
But
brunch and then get like fucked up on brunch on the 1st. But
See,
have like a
devil's advocate would say that like bringing in the New Year's partying is a celebratory thing. So no matter if you fucking feel like shit the next day, you celebrate your way into the new year, right? So it depends on how you look at it. But I'll
Right.
give you more of my thought on that when we talk about resolutions. But,
yes.
um,
Did anybody get, what was your favorite gift? Last question about your Christmas/New Year's.
this Roots tracksuit that I'm wearing right now.
Have you taken it off since Christmas Day?
Not that I remember.
I didn't think so.
Well, I think I took it off last night when I was sleeping. I got hot.
Do you smell that?
It smells like
It's your
sweat.
musty dick candle.
Yeah.
Well, on other news, like I got an air fryer, so
Yes.
I be air frying like everything.
What'd you air fry? What's the best thing you air fried?
Well, obviously fries
Right.
are like the best.
I got it.
But I actually made a quiche the other day, the air fryer.
Oh shit.
You got a quiche, bitch.
Yeah.
You gotta go off.
Air fry and quiche, motherfucker.
I know that.
You need to try chicken wings.
Yeah, so I haven't done that yet because I don't like buying frozen things.
Okay.
So I want to make the chicken wings like fresh, but then I haven't really been able to go out and like do that yet.
Love it.
You will love
Once
that.
I do, I will post pictures. I will send them to you.
Put them on your Instagram.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Air fryer chronicles.
What did I get? I think the only thing that I think I haven't got either of these presents yet, but my straight best friend, his friend is a painter and he has this painting that in his studio that he doesn't want anymore, so he's giving me that for Christmas. And then a girl that makes like leatherware gifted him this thing, and he was like trying to support her or whatever, so he got like a discount on it, but he doesn't actually want it, so he's giving me that for Christmas.
What is it? A leather harness?
Yeah. But it's like a sexy leather harness. But he's like a straight dude that is just waiting to come out of the closet. I'll give it back to him once he breaks up with his girlfriend and comes out of the closet. But right now, it's mine.
Oh, wow.
Cute.
Okay, but can we please talk about before we get into like resolutions and stuff?
Yeah.
Can we just talk about the fact that like already at the start of this fucking new year, shit has hit the fan.
This has been fuckery.
It has. What the heck?
Complete
Like
fuckery.
every morning I wake up and I'm like, okay, like what's next?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Like I think it was like the first, was it? When our girl, Azalea Banks. Okay, so she like, and I did see the video. It was on Twitter. Like, you can search it up if you really want to see
I'm
it.
so
But
sorry.
so she went on Instagram Live and she dug up her dead cat.
No.
Yeah. And then proceeded to boil this cat. Now, the only thing, like, before we get into the story, the only thing that I think was positive out of this whole experience was the memes that came out of it. But other than that, like, I don't know if it's like 100% real or if she's doing this for clout, for like clickbait, like whatever. But it wouldn't put it past her, because remember with the whole like massacring of the chickens in
Yeah.
the closet?
Yeah.
Like, was that real?
I don't know. She's a fucking psycho. Like, there's something literally. And the thing is like, I want to love her so bad
Me
because you
too.
want to just like vibe to this bitch's music.
Because she makes good music.
But and none of us are white in this room, so she's like just said that she hates all white gay men. So that's fine. I hate most of them too. But like, to say that you're lighting a kitten and what is boiling a cat?
Yeah.
And then what did she do with the said boiled cat
I
after?
have no idea, because I think the video like cut off.
But why was she boiling a cat? Like,
For her brujeria.
yes.
For what?
Brujeria.
What is that?
Well, it's the Spanish word for witchcraft.
Yes.
She is a self-proclaimed bruja.
I love that for her.
Yeah.
Well, I hope whatever boiling the cat did brought something better to 2021 than.
I just don't get it, because she's obviously going through something,
Right.
right? Like, is it mental illness? Is it like, can she not get help? Like, I'm just.
Do you remember when Amanda Bynes lit the lawn on fire with that woman's dog, and then everybody's like, she has a problem, but then nobody helped her, and we just like wanted to watch them burn for a little while. I think that's a sad thing about us sometimes, is we kind of were like, you're famous, let's watch you burn.
Yeah, so
True.
that's what sucks, because she does obviously have a level of fame, and like, if this was anybody, like if this was just, an acquaintance at work, you would obviously be like, yo, like, can you please get some help? Like,
Hey,
here are
girl.
some numbers. But because it's somebody that is kind of famous, you're like, okay, let me just have a seat.
Yeah.
Watch you derail for a moment before we go and get you help before it's too late.
And how many years has this been, like, in all reality, that she's kind of been going like a little bit, that we've all been like, I don't know if she's okay.
I think for the whole time, because like,
Yeah. Since 212, we were like,
yeah. Oh my god. Okay, but then
yeah.
it didn't just stop at that.
No, it couldn't.
Then did y'all hear the news about Armie Hammer?
No.
Call me by your name.
I don't know who that is.
Call me by your
Did you see
name.
the peach fuck? Not the guy who fucked the peach, but the older guy. Did you watch Call Me by Your Name?
No.
What?
But like you've seen like the poster, right?
No.
Oh lord. Okay. Let
great.
me pull up a picture. Let me pull up a picture while
Okay.
you describe.
Yeah. So over the past couple of, I think last week, a couple of women have released text messages from Armie Hammer of him being like, "Hey, I want to eat you. Like, hey, this would be so hot if you like let me open you up and like eat your kidneys and stuff like that." So he's been like, it's been like really
Okay.
creepy stuff of these girls being like, these girls being like, okay, this is enough. They'd be like, this is just a bit too much. Like, it's getting a bit too fetishy for me. I thought it was kind of a cute little joke that you want to like eat me, nom. But then it found out that it was real. That he's like actually, and like a bunch of other girls like came forward and were like, yeah, I think he might kind of be into eating people.
Okay, but like I love how you're just like casually like, I want to eat you. And like normally in any other circumstance, like when a guy's like, I want to eat you,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah,
go
eat
for
my
it.
pussy, baby.
Go for
Yeah.
it. But the fact that like I'm trying to find these text messages now, because I did have a screenshot of them, but they were like graphic. They were like, I want to break your ribs and I want to cut off a piece of you, like cut off a piece of your skin and eat it.
Yeah.
I want like the thought of like your blood coming out of you is making me hard. Like these are the things that were in these DMs, these text messages.
And it's awful because he's such a good actor, and now we get to lose another white guy trying to steal gay parts again.
Okay, but like
I
cannibalism,
know,
like
it's so scary. He's Hannibal Lecter. Maybe he should be the new Hannibal Lecter.
Wait, is he gay?
no.
No. But, and like, that's like the little problem. Like, but that's the thing is, like this fucking creepy little, this creepy sexy man can get, these sexy white men can get away with anything. Because I might even say, okay, fine, you can just eat my pinky. Like, if you.
Oh my god. So okay, but actually
You'll find me.
now that you mention it, I couldn't find the text messages, but the ones I did read, I do remember them saying that the girls, because obviously he's famous and like they were obviously into him, he is attractive. I do remember one of them saying like, oh, like I was just kind of like going along with it, like I wasn't really like enjoying it or whatever. Like they obviously didn't think he was serious until like he just went on, and then it was like kind of graphic and gross.
You just live to obey and be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul, my brain, my spirit, my body. Oh, does this have anything? Oh yeah. If I wanted to cut off one of your toes and keep it with me in my pocket, so I will always have a piece of you that I possess. Okay, girl.
Like,
okay, that's a little bit too much.
And this was what, maybe the second day of January? Like, come on.
That's shocking. I don't know who the fuck these people are. Okay, then, do you know what else? The one thing that we didn't write in our list that I was thinking of?
Whoa.
Britney Spears got emancipated from her fucking, from her dad.
Oh,
Did you
did she?
hear about this?
No.
Well, yeah, it's like, so now she had to transfer her, I think something like $60 billion to Jamie Lynn Spears. So yeah, so now Jamie Lynn Spears has all the money and has full control over it. And I'm always like, why does Britney Spears not have control over her own career?
Because she's fucking crazy.
But her dad is crazier. She's like a robot, but come on now, girl.
Yeah, they're both crazy, but I think back when the dad took conservatorship of Britney's shit, he wasn't as crazy. And I think as time went on and as drama continued to hit the fan, they both just kind of spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
I hope to God that Jamie Lynn is in her right mind.
Apparently there's some conspiracy theory that it was all Jamie Lynn's plan just to steal the money. I don't know. Who knows?
I would hope that she obviously has her sister's best interest.
Yeah, from Zoe 101 to just person who steals Britney Spears' money.
Yeah.
And then we had the election.
Okay, and the fuckery that ensued.
And all of the fuckery that ensued.
Lordy
Lord. The storming of the Capitol. And I actually really love the commentary that a lot of people had about how when black people were doing peaceful protests, they were getting arrested, and then white people go into the Capitol and people are high-fiving them to go inside.
Yeah.
Letting them in, etc. Not even just that, the National Guard was deployed prior to black people even protesting.
Yeah.
But the National Guard wasn't deployed until 2-3 hours after the riots already started.
Yeah.
Right? So it just goes to show the mindset of America in a sense. But I also don't believe that it's fully the mindset of America. I think that Trump fully had that planned. He deliberately didn't deploy the National Guard. He knew exactly what he was doing. He tried to start a coup and it worked.
Yeah, and there was people that were giving Nancy Pelosi's whereabouts in the White House, and same with what's her bitch, the bad bitch that has the 3-letter name. Oh my god, Jay, you sound so stupid. She's young. She used to be a bartender in New York, and now she's You're
talking about Alessandria Cortez.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. What do they always have the LC? ALC. Jay, read a fucking book. And where her whereabouts was and all of this shit. It's really disappointing to be to this guy that the last person to get impeached was somebody who had sexual relations with somebody, and now it took this long for us to impeach him again when he's literally doing a war against his own country.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking.
It's just, okay, for me, it's not even all of this that's crazy. It's the fact that this is obviously still happening, and I guarantee you, once this is all over, once we kind of start fresh, people are just gonna forget.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. I think Trump ignited a spark within America that was always just kind of dimmed. But then he's liberated this extremist group to feel like they have more power than they actually truly have. So I feel like for at least in the entire 4 years of Biden's term, people are going to be fucking just acting out, possibly trying to kill Biden, all that kind of stuff. You can't release a dog from its cage and then expect it to go back in its cage once you say go to bed. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've already released the hounds. Now you're gonna have to somehow fucking either shoot the dog or fucking rally it up and put it back in its crate, right? But it's not done. Like I'm convinced that come Wednesday, it's gonna be a shitstorm in America because that's when Biden gets inaugurated.
Yeah.
Mind
I
you,
can't wait to see what the fuck happens
I
then.
know.
they released the National Guard in fucking for all the capitals, right? Like within Michigan, I want to say Arizona, all that kind of stuff. Like all the capitals right now are already surrounded by guards,
Good.
right? So
Yeah, and you know what? That bitch got impeached again. So and lost his Twitter.
but that's like fuck
and
that. Like
I
why are
know.
like we need to get that motherfucker behind bars. He needs to serve time in jail. He needs to be raped. He needs to be all that kind of shit, right? Yeah, like no, like he needs to serve.
You're unclear. We do not.
No, but he needs to serve like hard time.
But he
you know what I
won't.
mean?
He's too rich. Rich people don't go to jail.
And the thing is, it all depends on because I know certain states are pursuing legal charges against him.
Yeah.
If those go through, he will serve some kind of time. But he's probably going to be like in a mansion that has like 4 bars. You know what I mean? But like he needs to be prosecuted at the fullest extent, 100%.
I hope that Army Hammer gets his hands on him and asks to drink his blood.
And just shave his hair off.
Like, he's like, yeah, you're gonna give me your blood. I'm gonna drink it.
Would you want to drink Trump's blood?
No, but Army Hammer's a freak. Maybe that's what he
Yeah.
wants.
He's into it.
Maybe he's into it.
They need to get this motherfucker because as of right now, he's planning on running again in 4 years. And like, could you
But
imagine?
I don't think he can now because he got double peached.
No, so he needs to be convicted in order to not be allowed to
I don't
run again.
understand American politics at all.
Yeah, as of right now, if he's not convicted of the charges, he can still run again in 4 years. He will still get the pension. He'll still get all that kind of shit. So unless it actually passes through Senate, he's walking away fucking laughing.
But, well, if you're listening to this, eat shit and die, bitch. On to brighter and worse news. Not even worse, it's actually just average. Did anybody see Wonder Woman? That everybody was so excited to come out on Christmas Day, and some people spent $30 on
Yeah.
it because they were so excited to watch this movie.
There was so much anticipation because it was like delayed.
Yeah.
And then finally when it came out, it was like, I mean, it was meh. It was kind of like,
It was probably one of the most boring superhero movies I've ever watched. Except the only thing that they did good was that Cheetah that was played by Kristen Wiig is when she turned into Cheetah. That's how they should have done Cats. Like she looked really good.
slightly.
Yeah, it was like a bit better than what Cats CGI looked like.
Cats was garbage.
I couldn't even watch it.
Cats was
It was
garbage.
maybe, okay, if we're going to compare it to Cats, I would say that the CGI was probably like, maybe just 1 or 2 steps above Cats.
Oh, really?
Not great.
I thought she looked really good as a little cheetah.
No, only because like I don't even know what they did because like you couldn't even tell it was Kristen Wiig. I'm like, okay, y'all went like way too far.
Right. I get what you mean.
You know, and
Yeah.
like I kind of when I watch movies, like I kind of obviously like you casted Kristen Wiig for a reason.
Yeah.
So don't make her look completely unrecognizable.
You know.
And like it looked completely CGI. Like I don't even think they like an actor was a stand-in, whether it be a body double or whatever, for that end fight scene.
The only thing that was really good was that fucking golden suit that Wonder Woman was wearing.
It was so impractical.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Super, super impractical. But I would, if that walked down the fucking runway on RuPaul's Drag Race,
Yeah,
I would be like,
of course.
yes, bitch, work.
Of course.
Yeah. What about the New Year's performances? Did anybody watch them or any of like the live streams of any of the shit that was
No.
happening on New Year's?
I was sleeping.
Oh, you are so.
I was sleeping.
You like have your little glasses on right now and your roots sweatshirt or sweatsuit, and you're just
It's a
like
vibe, right?
you're living your old man fantasy.
That's
I
it.
love it.
It's a-
Was it
So J-Lo.
yeah, ran into the
Yeah, that's the only thing that I do remember. And like
Yeah.
it wasn't even really that great. Like I think it was just like the overall atmosphere of like because obviously, you know, like in New York, when it comes to like New Year's, it gets full.
Yeah.
Right? Like have any of you guys ever been to New York during Christmas time? in New
I
York?
have for Christmas, but not for New Year's.
Okay, so you understand that like when you like obviously non-COVID,
Yeah.
when you go and you're in New York during Christmas time, during that time, like it's so packed.
Yeah.
Even just like during the day.
Yeah,
Like,
just like walking down the street.
cannot move.
Yeah.
There's so many people. It is crazy. Like, and then just seeing that, like, I don't know, the stage, the area, like the little like sectioned off portions of like just 2
4
or
people.
3 people,
Yeah.
and they're all wearing masks, and then like they kind of filled in the audience with those like inflatable men.
Yeah.
It was just so sad. Like
I know. I was watching a live stream of Times Square. I watched like just a live stream of it, and there's like 4 people walking down Times Square, and you're just like, this is so sad.
it's like, what is the point?
Yeah.
And if I was J-Lo at that point, I was like, so y'all want me to perform for maybe 20 people?
Yeah, but that's what you got to do in these COVID times.
That's so sad.
Yeah, and nobody even has cable anymore, so I don't even know who's watching online.
Right.
Say, Lovey. Last thing that I wanted to talk about, which I think is the funnest topic of the day, is gays over COVID. Have you guys seen this Instagram yet?
I took a look at it like
The
briefly.
gays.
Like, if you're gay right now in Puerto Vallarta listening to this, I'm upset with you. Hey,
Why? Because they're gone?
no, you should not be in Puerto Vallarta right now. You should be at home. You should be doing things at home, in your house, with your 2 friends, and you should not be having sex with all those hot boys in bikinis.
Yes.
Stop doing that. Go home right now. Get home.
I cannot stand. So like, okay, I follow like gay Twitter religiously.
Yeah.
Like I think more so than Instagram, more so than any other social
Right.
media platform. I love the drama, and truly like the memes that come from gay Twitter they're the ones that always come out first, and then they kind of trickle their way down to all the other platforms. Now, I just don't understand what is wrong with you that you cannot just sit this one out. Like, do you have to go to that party? Do you have to go and have sex with all of these people? Do you have to go and just do the same thing over and over again in a pandemic, girl?
I know. Or like the underground big giant party in Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're just like, okay, I get it. Do you know what? I was at the club. Like, I am an alcoholic that loves going to the club. I get it. I sometimes sit in bed and cry, being like, please let me just dance to the new fucking Lady Gaga album once with people touching me. One time, please. But I don't, because I'm trying to be fucking responsible.
Sure.
I'm trying to do one, and you know what? We're all not good COVID girls. Like, all of us have done one thing or another that we've been like, oh, this is probably not good COVID
Sure.
protocol. But going to Puerto Vallarta and with all of these fucking people, and like especially people that work in like healthcare that are going, I'm like, girl.
I think it's COVID fatigue, and like I feel like when our governments contradict themselves
Yeah.
so much, it almost makes you feel like, you know what? Why the fuck aren't I going on vacation?
Right.
Because it's like, how dare you shut down an entire city and then just like, oh, but you can go to Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's more people at Walmart than there are on the beach. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, for sure. I totally get that. And yeah, I am a bitch that's over here fucking fatigued as well. But like, the thing is that like I don't do things that are crazy like that because I just want things to go back to normal.
Right.
And the more people that do things like go to Puerto Vallarta and just, pretend like a fucking pandemic doesn't exist.
But then what's the difference with going to Walmart?
But they're the ones that are making these lockdowns and these things like longer.
How so? Because you're still going to Walmart.
Yeah, I am, but the government is seeing that all these motherfuckers are still going out doing whatever the fuck they want.
But why is what they're doing wrong? But then when we go shop for our necessities, quote unquote, it's okay.
I see where you're coming from, yes. But like I'm also not going to like Michelle that's walking down the aisle and pumping my
Your
dick
dick.
right in her face and then
Wait a
licking
second.
her
So did you guys see the news today? It was like how fucking China had to recall all this ice cream because they found ice cream on they found COVID on the container of the ice cream.
Huh.
So I'm like, all these measures that we're implementing don't mean jack squat. Do you know what I mean? Like now they're saying that you can get COVID through your eyes, but for some reason our eyes are not covered. We're just wearing masks.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now COVID can live on ice cream packages. So now by me going to Walmart, I'm touching everything. So now everything in Walmart has COVID on it. So then why can't I just go to the beach, suck some dick, and get fucked, and then live my best life? Because if I go to Walmart and buy some fucking toilet paper, I'm gonna get COVID anyway. Or if I get the vaccine, I'm gonna get COVID anyway. Regardless, we're all fucked. So you might as well get fucked and enjoy your best life.
So we are not condoning that you do not follow the safety protocols of COVID-19. But we do say that, do you know what? Some of the shit is bullshit. It sucks. It sucks and it's sad. But all I'm saying, girl, is we just need to do a little bit of our part. Just try a little. Like, I mean, I haven't been the goodest girl ever, but I tried. My upstairs neighbors, they're old men, and they do not care at all. They're like this gay couple, and he's like, I don't even care. He like works on the TTC, and he doesn't wear them. And he's like, I'm in my little box. I don't wear my mask. I was like, baby, that's not how it works. And you live above me, so like I'm very nervous. But then he was like, are you having a New Year's party at your house? And I said, no. And he said, you can if you want. We have no problem with it. I was like, no. I'm not having he just wants to see all the hot boys outside of his apartment, outside of his house. He's like, ooh. But the thing is Karma did hit those people in Puerto Vallarta that were on the party boat, and the boat sank. And I was singing my heart
boat
about
sank?
Yeah, bro. Like got a hole in it, and like all of these gays are like, please help me! Somebody help me! They're all in their speedos.
You didn't see
Nobody
the
died.
memes?
No.
It was great.
Oh my god.
It was legendary. God was like, I hate faggots.
Oh my god.
And the boat fell in. It's like Karma's a bitch, but also so are most of those people that went to Puerto Vallarta. And also the thing is, actually at the end of the day, I don't even care that they went to Puerto Vallarta. I just don't like those types of bitches. They're like, like I just know who those girls are. I know who those girls are, and that's the reason I don't like them. And they don't even care. They all of them probably already got COVID. They're like, I already got it, so it's fucking fine.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I mean, there was like the one party here that my friend went to that there was like 60 people at, and 55 of them got COVID from the party. And I was like, serves you right.
So who were the lucky 5 that didn't? What they do? They just sat down in the corner.
They only used glory holes when they were at the party.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the only way.
So
to do
we
it.
can't get COVID from sucking dick.
No,
That's
because
the moral of the
COVID
story.
does not come from semen.
Nice.
So if you want to, we are now making merch, queer merch that are portable glory holes, and you can buy them on our website. They're very cheap.
Just walk around with one in your pocket.
Yeah, just folds right out. You whip it out. You just have to attach it. It has 2 little suck you things that go on the ceiling, and then it just goes down, and then you can present your dick through the hole and wait for a surprise. You're welcome. I think we could talk about the shenanigans, all the shenanigans that have happened in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we last seen each other. But it like almost hurts my soul how many bad things happened. But hey,
the thing is, they're going to continue to happen. Like, girl, it is only the 17th of January.
Yeah.
We got like how many more days left?
Yeah.
Until 2022.
I'm just like, it's never going to end. I know, like March, like when March comes around, it's like we've been a year in quarantine.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like a year at all.
Yeah. Fuck
Where
it,
does
whatever.
time go?
Where did the time go? Who knows?
Uranus.
But now we are in. It's hard to see the future, and because it looks so bleak.
So good.
But I have been thinking about New Year's resolutions, and if I have any, do you guys have any? Did you guys make any big New Year's resolutions or little New Year's resolutions or things like that?
Yeah. Well, okay. So the thing with resolutions this year, I think are going to be really different than they are going to be that they were like any other year, because obviously we're all aware that the major big resolutions have to do with overall health. Like, you know, people want to go to the gym more, they want to be healthy, they want to do whatever. It's always the same bullshit, right? These resolutions last maybe a couple weeks, and then everybody just goes right back to normal.
Right.
Whereas now, I think so many people's lives have been completely flipped upside down. Like, people that have been working at jobs for like 20 plus years now don't have a job. Now they have to go and start back at square one. So like, families have been, pretty much like just in the hole.
Right.
For lack of a better term. And now they're probably not really thinking like, oh, well, I gotta eat better, or I'm gonna go to the gym. No, I'm gonna fucking like turn my entire life around. Yeah. So that's kind of, I think, where people's resolutions are kind of going.
Do you remember when people's resolutions were like, I'm gonna Marie Kondo my apartment? And now we're like, who the fuck's Marie Kondo? I don't have time. I've been in my apartment for this long, and it's a mess.
Yeah.
Because I don't fucking care anymore.
God, I can't. So for me, for my New Year's resolutions, like, I like to just keep the bar very low. So even regardless of COVID or not, the key is keep the bar low, because even if you don't want to do it, like, after a couple weeks, that bar, it's just, you can still reach it.
Right.
So for me, it's just being more hydrated, like drinking a little bit more water, like just trying to be aware of the things that I'm doing that kind of bring me more joy. So like, if I know that, you know, playing a video game for like an hour is gonna make me just a little bit happier, I'm gonna play that video game.
Love that.
You know? So things like that. What about you?
So I got so fucking fucked up on New Year's that I was up until 10 p.m. the next day. I went to sleep, and I probably that night with me and my friend, it was just me and my friend, I smoked like 2 full packs of cigarettes. I'm a smoker. I've been a smoker since I was like 14. But I woke up and I was like, I've never not wanted a cigarette so bad in my life that the thought of smoking a cigarette, I was like, I can't do this. So I accidentally got a New Year's resolution of quitting smoking. And this is the first time I've told people because I don't want anybody to know that like I failed at it.
Right.
But I have not. I've had 2 cigarettes since January 1st, and they were both when I was drunk, so they don't really count because drunk cigarettes don't count. And so it's been like 17 days without like, and like almost 2 weeks since I've smoked a cigarette.
Good job.
So that's my New Year's resolution right now, is that. And then my other one is to not drink too much wine or get too fucked up the night before I know I have big commitments the next day. That's a goal. That's a goal. What about you?
I told myself that this year, whatever resolution I give myself, it's not going to be like a cold turkey resolution. I don't find that those work out. I find that when you give yourself a cold turkey resolution, you're only setting yourself up to fail. So should kind of do it like in increments, right? So for me, I just told myself, drink less, be a little bit more social. And that's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it has to be easy. And actually, I was watching this YouTube video the other day that's talking about like the 70%. So that like we always talk about like you know, when it talks about like procrastination and like perfectionism, like we all have kind of like this need, especially we're both Virgos.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a need to always be perfect.
Right.
If we're gonna do it, it needs to be at 100%, or it's not worth doing. So I'm just gonna do 0%.
Right.
And I've noticed that that's a huge struggle in my life. That I'm always like. I get so down on myself if I know that I can't finish a project completely.
And it's so easy to quit.
Right.
Right.
So it's just like, why wouldn't I just stop it and ignore
Exactly.
the things that I need to do? But then that gives me more anxiety, more shit, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, watch this video and we'll link it in the bio thingy of Spotify and Apple Podcasts and everything. But he talks about the 70%. That like if you can do, he's like talking about the video that he was making, and just like if he can do it at 70%, it's not going to be perfect, but that he's going to do 70%. With the New Year's resolution, it's kind of the same thing. Like you're like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, or now I guess I'm going to do a home workout every day or every 5 times a week. But then for like a week, you only do it 2 times, or you don't do it at all. Then you're like, well, I might as well just never fucking work out ever again because I failed at it. That's kind of where that like all those resolutions start to fail, is when you just like you see one mistake as like full ass failure.
Yep. Right.
But like you're still, if you do this for the rest of the year, you're still at like 98%, baby. 98% is not something that any C's get degrees. Like you look at all those marks after you have that fucking degree, girl.
Oh god.
So like it's one of those things that you have to be like, oh, like if I just put in like if I do this and I fail at it once or twice, it's the same thing like when you look at addiction and those kind of things. People look at it as like your addiction, you have to fall off the bandwagon after you do it one time. How about we look at it as like, oh, you fucked up once, let's try the fuck again. Let's see if we can hit 80% this year.
Get back up, dust your shoulders off, and keep moving.
I love that.
You know?
Also, you've been talking to your friend, right, about his little program. It's not little; it's a huge program.
Callum.
Yeah, Callum.
Shape and Foster. So what Shape and Foster is that they speak to 6 different experts in like mental wellness, financial literacy, eating healthy, etc. What they're doing is that for subscribers at least, they post, I don't know if it's weekly or monthly videos, but it's just kind of videos that help you stay on track. So if you have a New Year's resolution that fits into one of those, that app is a very good thing. I don't know how much it costs per month, but I found it very interesting.
So right now for a year, if you do it for a year, it's $99.99 US, and if you do it for a month, it's $14.99. But there's also a 7-day free trial for you to check it out and see if anything floats your boat. There's bi-weekly freaking yoga classes, a bunch of fun things, and it's definitely something that I'm hopefully going to see if it works for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will, but I really am trying to find my mindfulness in those kind of
Right.
things. And I think this might be a good thing. And also local to Toronto.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of sparked my interest on it. So I'm going to be talking to him later this week, and I'll plug that into this episode. So you'll hear that later on in this episode. But yeah, I think it's very cool, especially for those that struggle with like New Year's resolutions and kind of just finding their center.
Yeah.
This is a good way to, I guess, ensure that you stay on track.
Keep you a little motivated.
Exactly.
Do you guys have a resolution for our podcast this year?
Yeah. Oh my God. I would love to get everybody listening just a little bit more engaged, like within our like creative process as well. Like I'd love to know like what you guys think of the podcast, what if you guys have any ideas, if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to see our OnlyFans, like just anything like that. Like, I would love to just know what's in your brain.
Yeah, like, will you give us money if we all have our separate OnlyFans? Should we all open one full OnlyFans with all three of us? Whatever that is. Or should we do, what's the other one? Just for fans? Should we do it just for fans instead? That's the kind of input that we would like. But I think that I would really love to see us create community. Have some really awesome new special guests, and to just find that play that we found in the first season.
Yeah, that's mine too. I want to get some very insightful guests, dig a little bit deeper. I don't know, we've dug pretty deep already, but just find ways to dig deeper and kind of just tackle deeper topics that are relevant to our community. And hopefully just get some inspirational guests.
Yeah. And we're inspired by you guys every day. So I hope you have the happiest of New Year's. I hope you had the happiest of New Year's and have a great 2021, even though it looks a little different than what we thought.
Sorry. Let's close this out. Sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Just scream at me a little bit harder, Daddy. Jesus.
That was aggressive.
Sorry. When you go home, if you have any platform, I'm talking to you two, not the audience. Just stream the movie called Songbird. Okay.
Songbird?
Yeah. So Michael Bay, the same guy that made like Transformers and all that shit, once COVID started, he rushed his ass to make a movie based off of COVID, right? And it's called Songbird, but it's based off of COVID 24. So COVID has mutated so many times to COVID 24.
I don't know how to watch that.
It's a great fucking movie. Like to the point where COVID is now airborne, so they can't open their windows, they can't go outside, all that kind of shit.
I know dark and gloomy show like that.
The moment you test positive, they strip you out of your house. You and anyone else that's in there, you're put into a quarantine zone. It's like, I'm convinced this is where we are going to be in like 2 years. It's fucked. Watch it.
I hope we're not. I'm the optimistic one. On that note, I hope you guys stay safe, wear your masks, and love each other from a distance. Remember, you'll be getting fisted some other time, and it doesn't have to be right now. And if you're going to get fisted, use a glory hole.
Yeah.
My name is Jay Northcott. You can find me on Instagram at Nervous Shipwreck.
And I'm J-Ho. You can find me at Decent People.
Alexander Jamal, self-explanatory.
We love you, and we'll see you next week. Toodles.
We should really harmonize a lot better.
I did.
Mine was
with
on point.
myself.
Okay, should we try again?
Toodles.
Toodles.
We should create a band.
And now for our interview with Callum McGuigan from Shape and Foster. Enjoy, y'all. Okay, guys, so we're here welcomed with Callum McGuigan from Shape and Foster. We felt like it would be the perfect introduction to Shape and Foster because this week's episode obviously was on New Year's resolutions and how we can better ourselves, etc. So that's why we had Callum here to talk about the app Shape and Foster, because we felt like it was doing something positive for the community and it can add to our personal health and well-being. So here's Callum. So Callum, tell us a little bit more about yourself, about your business background, what you were doing prior to Shape and Foster, and what made you transition into what is now Shape and Foster.
Awesome, sounds good. Thank you, Alex, for the introduction, and thanks for having me on your show. I'll give you a full 4-minute background. I'll try and crush it all in together so your listeners don't get too fatigued with my accent here. I'm from Scotland. I moved to Canada 14 years ago to live in Toronto, Ontario. Originally, I came here for 4 months to play rugby and just had a really fun time. Loved the city, loved all the people I met. Went home, got a work permit, came back. And a few years later in Canada, I then started my own business. So at this point, I'd met my wife. I'd had a start my professional career. I'd started to kind of get roots in the city. Toronto very quickly became home. I started my business in 2006. It was an events marketing agency called Fervent Events. And we did quite well. We listed twice in the Growth 500. Completely bootstrapped. I started the business with $4,000, so essentially a paycheck, and we ended up hitting $4 million in annual revenue after about 7 or 8 years. The first 9 years, I loved the business. The last 2 years, I just stopped being enthusiastic about it, and that kind of coincided with my own personal development journey. A few years ago, after basically having an anxiety attack, driving at the wheel after a big night the night before, I kind of stopped drinking after that. I started getting fitter again. I hadn't been in shape for 6 or 7 years. And lo and behold, more fitness and less alcohol. I was more patient. My happiness improved. And this kind of personal development journey just kind of started happening for myself. And the culmination was in July of last year when I sold my business. 11 years at that stage, because I wasn't enjoying it anymore, and I wanted to start something new that was essentially going to be more mission focused and help people. Because at an advertising agency, you're doing a lot of work for potentially big tobacco, quick service restaurants. It kind of wanes on you a little bit after a time. So Shape and Foster is a lifestyle development app. It's about trying to improve people's well-being through curated programming from a fitness expert, nutritionist, a mental health professional, a life coach, a finance expert, and a yoga instructor. And that kind of takes us to where we are right now.
That's awesome. I love that, because I personally went through a similar journey. Well, kind of. So I kind of did it all at the same time. So back in the day, I was very out of shape, things like that. Grew up extremely overweight, and then at one point I decided to get my life together and get my fitness together, things like that. But then as life went on, I went through personal things that kind of drove me into, I don't want to say alcoholism, but very close. And then I had to kind of figure that out, right? And I had to seek help for that and kind of find my own journey, find my own path. And that's why I love this app, because I'm there are so many people out there, especially during COVID times, that just need some kind of inspiration. So that's why I love this. But my next question for you was, so then what is Shape and Foster, and how did the idea come about to create Shape and Foster? And what would you say the core philosophy of Shape and Foster is?
So it's a lifestyle development app. It's also available in web browser. You essentially pay for a membership, and in turn, you're taking on a 12-month journey of lifestyle and personal development from 6 experts, each of who have curated these specific courses. So the experts are in areas that I deemed important to a healthy heart and a healthy mind. As I said, fitness, nutrition, mental health, life coach, finance, and yoga. And how it works is every 30 days, new course material becomes available in the app for you, and all content is provided via video. So essentially, you've got 15 to 20 minutes of video to consume every month from each of the experts. So if you're able to give up 2 to 3 hours a month of your time, you're going to learn from these 6 experts and be taken on a holistic journey proactively. A massive part of my personal development journey is that I dealt with everything retroactively. What you just said about, you wouldn't want to say that you would stop short of saying that you had alcoholism. I would kind of say that I was in the same spot. I wasn't there, but I was kind of like, put it this way, like for some crazy reason, like I binged. I'm 36 now, and I binged more in my early 30s than I did in my 20s. So it was trending in the wrong direction, right? But I dealt with it all retroactively. Like I Googled anxiety after an anxiety attack. I got fit after I was out of shape. I started looking at what I was eating more when I was overweight. Like you look at mortgages when you're looking to purchase your first home or whatever. Like so much of life is dealt with retroactively. So what members will get out of this is they're going to get a proactive approach and an opportunity to kind of learn about themselves and to grow as an individual before there really maybe comes that time of need.
Nice. Would you say that you guys have a target audience, or is it just more so for whoever's in need?
It's honestly, it's just for whoever is wanting to develop and kind of undertake like a personal development journey.
Mm-hmm.
There's no target audience. There's no specified gender or anything that we're after here. I mean, it's completely just anyone who's open to wanting to develop as an individual, and that's all it is. I mean, I should say that we obviously offer like a free trial. Like anyone can come in and have a look and see if it's for them, and if it's not, then there's no loss to you. I mean, some people come in, they love it, and they stick around, and a few people have come in and left, and that's just the nature of the app business, so to speak. But yeah, there's not a specific target demo, no.
Fair enough. Okay, so then for me, like while all the sections were important, the mental health section really sparked my interest, as especially during the pandemic, people are in need of real tangible advice and leadership more than ever. So how does your platform aim or aid in supporting individuals with these important needs? In other words, how will someone benefit from Shape and Foster? Do you guys provide I guess additional links to help in the event that they may need help in an emergency, etc.?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it's important to sort of say that, as I say, all the programming is done via like recorded video. So members are all going through the same program together. However, you do have access to these professionals if you want further access. Like you can message them and they'll get back to you. We have live interviews with them. You can attend them. You can ask them questions. If you want to then deal with somebody on an individual one-on-one basis, then you would just message them and contact them if you wanted to work with them professionally on a one-on-one basis, or seek some guidance as to better other places to go. They'll be there, and there'll be a support system to help you through that and tell you. But that one-on-one is not part of the app, unfortunately. I mean, we just simply are unable to scale at that nature. Like if we were to have, for example, 5,000 or 10,000 members, we can't have 5,000 or 10,000 people all with one-on-one access to 6 experts. It's not doable. But you can message them, and they can for sure give you ideas about where to go if you're looking for more than the programming that comes with the app and that is available.
Beautiful. I think that's the most important thing, is that they have that ability in the event of that they need further support, right? At the same time, because we don't know what someone's going through, and we don't know if what we're providing them is enough. Do you know what I mean? Even with this podcast, like we sometimes give advice, and we try to be as transparent, as neutral as possible, but we understand that there will be someone that doesn't relate or that is seeking more, right? So that just having that ability to give them what they need in the event of is priceless, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that as far as like physical and mental health goes, like I believe that not having mental illness, for example, does not mean that you're mentally healthy. Like mental health is just something that you have to always constantly be working on. So what we're trying to do here is simply provide some actionable insight, some knowledge that can impact your life and enable you to learn and form habits proactively. Like that's really what the purpose of Shape and Foster is. It's not promising that you will be your best self in 60 days. It's not that sort of thing. It's a slower paced program, so to speak, but you're part of a community, and community really is everything when you're looking to learn and form habits. It keeps you motivated. It's nice to be part of something with other people, to be going through the same stuff. It enables you to be vulnerable if you want to be vulnerable. Maybe you're not willing to be vulnerable on like a private Facebook group or on your social media feed or whatever it may be. But here, everyone's in this app for the exact same thing. Everyone's there to just try and move forward a little bit with their personal development journey. So there's an opportunity there to kind of be very open and just be willing to learn and put yourself out there if you want. At the same time, you can sit back quietly and just observe. You don't have to be vocal if you don't want to.
And that's, to me, that's priceless. I know, like how I mentioned before, when I was dealing with my alcohol issue, I would go on, because I was dealing with this like at the peak of the pandemic. So I was fortunate enough to have the ability to like pop into AA classes that were virtual, and I wasn't comfortable like at all to show my face, to speak or anything, but just having the ability to pop in, listen to people and their experiences, that's kind of what allowed me to kind of ground myself. So that's amazing that you guys are doing that. But I do want to touch upon the fact that you mentioned actionable insight. Sorry. Mm-hmm. So explain to us what actionable insight is.
It's essentially like tidbits of information that you can put into your life with immediate effect without needing to do crazy wholesale changes. I'll give you a prime example, and because we're talking about mental health, I'll stick on that topic. So the mental health professional that we have at Shape and Foster is called Tanya De Silva. She works for Behaviour Matters in Toronto, Ontario. She's a director there. She's put together a program that in month 1 is about the why and how of your emotions. So month 1 deals with the why and how of your emotions. She talks about something I'd never heard about before, called the drill down method. The drill down method essentially is, if you get upset about something, a lot of the time that surface reason that triggered you is not the real reason that you're upset. Mm-hmm. So you have to ask yourself a second time, why am I really upset? A third time, a fourth time. She says 5 times. And if you can try and drill down a little bit deeper every time, when you get to that 5th time, you're at the real root of the problem as to why you're really upset, and it's not that surface reason. I watched this video, and I literally, that was like validation for me that this whole actionable insight thing that I'm trying to create is actually, that is what we're creating here, because I've since used that technique myself. I had a day at work that was a bad day at work. This is about a month ago. I mean, I'm launching a new business. I'm running lots of like online ads, for example. Some of the ads are not clicking, like some are and some aren't. So it's just kind of getting my back up. Later on that day, I'm at home. I'm putting my son to bed, and he's not wanting to go to bed. He's acting up, and he's just kind of playing on the floor. And I've had a bad day at work, and I knew straight away, before like kind of getting upset or getting annoyed at like my son for not going to bed, I knew straight away, like, it's nothing to do with my son playing here. I'm upset purely because of my day at work. Mm-hmm. So I know it sounds like a really simplistic thing, but that is actionable insight. It's professionals that are just kind of telling you things that you can start to understand, conceptualize, and put into your life with immediate effect. And the same goes with like nutrition, for example. Nutrition's always going to be a massive problem for me. Like, I love the food that's bad for you. I'm from Glasgow. Glasgow is the heart disease capital of Europe. Like, we deep fry Mars bars. You know what I mean?
I love those.
Like, we invented a deep fried Mars bar. Like, Glasgow's not a healthy place to eat. And as a consequence of that, growing up, to be completely honest, I didn't have much education around nutrition, and that has since in my 30s continued to basically me now being not very confident with nutrition. So I just kind of make choices haphazardly. One of the videos, nutrition, is just so simple. Again, it's just about the benefits of having a shake for breakfast and all this sort of stuff. So I've started like having smoothies like for breakfast. It's a simple thing. I mean, it's not groundbreaking, but it's just simple information that you can pick up and you can start to make changes to your life at like a nice slow pace.
Amazing. So I want to touch upon that because you briefly went into nutrition. So now you have nutrition, you have mental health, financial wellness, yoga. Do you guys plan on adding more segments in the future?
So that's an awesome question. I think that is definitely a likely scenario. What I'm going to do, like, this is going to be a very community-based app. I'm going to poll the members. I think in June or July, I'm going to poll the members, and I'm going to say, do you guys want a year 2 from these current 6 experts with more advanced learnings? Or do you want to have completely new experts? Or do you want to add some different sorts of experts? And if so, what are you interested to learn more about? So the direction that it goes is totally going to be based on the community. I'm going to open that up for the community to decide.
Nice. Okay, so then with that, how did you select your 6 experts? Who are they? How did you go about selecting them? And then how will they help lifestyle development?
So the 6 experts, we have Shinobu Hinder in finance. She's in San Diego. We have Ty McDonald, our athletic trainer, who's in Toronto. Jazz Stupak, nutritionist from Vancouver. Tanya De Silva, mental health professional from Toronto. Christina Rowland, a life coach from Washington, D.C. And we have Morgan Delicio, our yoga instructor, who is in Burlington, Ontario. I selected them simply by looking through a lot of Instagram video. I'd searched for different experts. I'd looked to see how they came across on camera. Like, were they likable? Is this somebody that I would like to learn from? Do they convey information really well? Then I'd of course go back into their background, look at all their credentials, get an idea of like their professional history and the work that they've done. And then I held interviews. I interviewed like 6 or 7 people per position. So I had it whittled down already to like 6 or 7 I was interested in. And then we went through an interview process, just like anything else. And then I offered a contract. So they're all solopreneurs. They're all small business owners in their own right. And they all have like very interesting stories. Like, it's crazy that just by sheer chance, like the experts that we have, a lot of them, their professional career has ended up as a result of their own personal development. Like Shinobu, the financial expert, her mother is Japanese, her dad is Kenyan. They're immigrants to the US, and from a very, very young age, they included her in every financial decision. And she says it was really like creative, it was pretty intense. But lo and behold, she ended up becoming a financial planner, which is mad. The nutritionist, Jazz Stupak, her parents are Polish. She grew up eating a lot of red meat. And she said that she never really she always had issues with her skin that like the doctors couldn't kind of like put their finger on, creams wouldn't work with. So she ended up reading into it more herself, reading into diet, understanding how diet affects the body more. And lo and behold, she ended up becoming a holistic nutritionist. It's crazy. So they're all, they're just have really cool stories, the experts. They've got great professional background. They're very likable, and they convey information really well, and that's kind of how we ended up with them.
Beautiful. So then, before we go, obviously, we have to ask the question of how much does Shape and Foster cost?
Yeah, so the usual cost for Shape and Foster is $99 per year. However, for listeners of your pod, they can get in for $89 per year. So $10 discount there. Everyone gets a 3-day trial, and there will be a link in the show notes that will take you straight to the podcast's personalized, unique plan. If you want to read a little bit more about Shape and Foster before going to the plan, then just go to shapeandfoster.com.
Beautiful. Okay, so then lastly, what is your end goal, or what is all of your end goal with Shape and Foster?
Sorry, you just cut out a little bit there, Alex.
Oh, no worries. I said, what is your or the entire team's end goal with Shape and Foster? Where do you want to see this go? What's your dream? Yeah.
The end goal for Shape and Foster, honestly, for me, is to create like a thriving community. I just want to be very proud of something that I've built. I think that even with 100 people, there's already like a good 100 people inside the app. There's already got about 100 members. We're a few weeks into launch, and I think that I think I've already had more of an impact on 2 weeks on the job in Shape and Foster than I truly did over 11 years with an events marketing agency. And I mean that as impact for good. So that's the goal. The goal is really just to create a thriving community that enables people to grow and enables people to be comfortable and get into a place where they're happy with their lifestyle.
Beautiful. Okay, well then, is there anything else that you want our listeners to know before we go?
No, that's perfect, man. I've loved the questions. I'm very grateful to be on and have a chance to connect with your listeners. You can always find us on Instagram as well, at Shape and Foster. But yeah, I mean, I'd love it if you guys come in and check it out. A free 3-day trial. If it's for you, great, and if it's not, then it's all good.
Perfect. We'll make sure that we post it on our socials and everything as well. Because like I said, I truly think that like this app is perfect for the time that we're in. So why not? Do you know what I mean? Even the nutrition, people are stuck at home. You know what I mean? So like nutritional advice is priceless right now. So yeah, we'll definitely make sure we post it everywhere we can, and we'll do our best to make sure that people get knowledge on what it is that you guys are providing to them.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. And please
Cheers.
stay safe.